Now this is the story of the Rock Island Line. And the Rock Island Line runs down to New Orleans, and there's a big old toll booth, and if you've got certain things on board, then you've got to pay some money. But if you've got other things on board, then you don't have to pay any money. And the train, it pulls up to this toll booth, and the man shouts down, "What have you got on board?" And the driver shouts back, "I got livestock, I got livestock, I got cows, I got pigs, I got sheep, I got mules, I got all livestock." And the man at the toll booth, he says, "Well, you don't have to pay any money. Off you go." So the train pulls through the toll booth, and once it's through, it starts to gather a little bit of speed, build up a little bit of steam, and once it's through, and the train's well past the toll booth, the driver shouts back to the man, "Well, I fooled you, I got iron, I got iron, I got old pig iron." Well, the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Cloudy in the west and it looks like rain. Round the curve comes a passenger train. Northbound train on a southbound track. All right, leaving, but it won't be back. Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Well, I may be right and I may be wrong, but you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Well, the engineer said before he died there were 2 more drinks he'd like to try. Conductor said, what could they be? Hot cup of coffee and a cold glass of tea. Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station at the Rock Island Line. That's Rock Island Line, an old traditional song, originally made famous by Leadbelly, but particularly in the UK, you might have heard the big hit from the man who essentially brought skiffle music to the UK and started thousands of skiffle bands, Mr. Lonnie Donegan. And of course, skiffle music kicked off rock and roll. Now for the Rock Island Line, we're going to learn it on a GCE A-tuned ukulele, like a soprano, concert or tenor, and we're also going to learn how to play it on the baritone. We'll do both of those in this little lesson. So this song has 3 chords, and the chords are D, G and A7. And there's going to be a link below so you can download a sheet for this song, but essentially it's really simple. There's a long spoken introduction, there's 1 chord, and then we have those 3 chords, and they either form the chorus pattern, the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road, or one of the 2 verses that we've got in this version, though you will find many, many different sets of lyrics. And there's also a little 2-line interlude, if you like, that just uses a D and an A7. The other thing is that at the end of every part of this song, every section, there's a half a bar. We just have a bar with 2 beats in it. Might seem odd, but it fits perfectly with the lyrics. And as we go through it, you'll see where those fall. So let's kick off on the soprano and then we'll do it on the baritone. To start with, there's a long spoken intro, and all of that is a D chord because we're playing this in the key of D. And it doesn't matter how many bars there are here because we're just telling a little story to introduce the song. Keep it nice and slow because we're going to build up speed when it talks about the train building up speed. And we have that whole bit that says, here's the story of the Rock Island Line, etc. And we've got the bit where he shouts about, I've got livestock, livestock, and all of that bit. And then it starts to build up steam. We get faster and faster as the train runs away from the toll booth. And he sings, I fooled you, I got pig iron, I got old pig iron. And we've not changed chord at that point, but we've now got our D chord up to speed. And and then we can start playing the song. Now on the soprano, or the tenor or the concert, if you're tuned G, C, E, A, you can play the chords like this. If you play your D with your second, third and fourth fingers, like that, not this one, then you can change to your A7 like that. And in fact, you could keep this finger down and just lift off these three and you're on your A7. You can also go to your G and play that with those three fingers as well, not your index finger. It might feel a little bit odd and you might not want to do it that way, but when I was doing it that way, it meant that I didn't move my left hand at all. So I could keep it in place, not even have to look at my left hand fingers at all, because my left hand was staying in place. There's a similar kind of trick on the baritone I'll show you in a moment, but however you play them, this is how our chorus goes. D chord. Well, the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is the road to ride. That's an A7 on road to ride, and then we're back to a D. Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. So that's the first three lines of a 5-line chorus. Let's do it together. D. Down the Rock Island Line, this is a mighty good road. Rock Island Line, A7, the road I ride. D. Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. Then we go to our third chord, G. Well, if you ride it, back to D, you've got to ride it like you find it. Back to G, get your ticket at the station for the... Then we go to A7, but just for 2 beats. Rock, Island, and back to D. Line. So we've essentially got a bar of 2/4 time in amongst our bars of 4/4. But don't worry, it just fits with the words. Rock, Island, and then line, we're back to D. So let's do a whole chorus. Down the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line, it's the road to ride. Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. And then you stay on that D until you're ready to sing the next bit. Then we have a section that we can think of as a verse. There's 2 of these in this song, but you'll find lots of different versions with different verses, different numbers of them. But this one starts on a D chord and goes, cloudy in the west and it looks like rain. A7, round the curve came a passenger train. D again, northbound train. G, on a southbound track, back to D. Alright, leaving birdie. And then we do the same thing again. A7, 1, 2, and back to D again, which is won't be back. So let's do that. 2, 3, 4. Cloudy in the west and it looked like rain. Round the curve came a passenger train. Northbound train on a southbound track. It's alright, leaving birdie, won't be back. Then we sing the chorus again. There's a little interlude I'll show you in a moment. Then we have another verse like that, which is the... Well, the engineer said before he died there were 2 more drinks he'd like to try. Conductor said, what could they be? Hot cup of coffee and a cold glass of tea. That's exactly the same thing. And then we sing the chorus again, and I sang it again as a repeat to finish. So let's go through the whole song from when we've picked up speed to start that last chorus. Here we go. So there's my D chord and I'm picking up speed now, but I'm not going to go too fast. This one's a slow train for the moment. Here we go. The Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Now you can stay here as long as you want. Catch your breath. Here we go. Cloudy in the west and it looks like rain. Round the curve come a passenger train. Northbound train on a southbound track. It's alright, leaving birdie, won't be back. And then we do the chorus again. Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Then little interlude, which is just D and a quick A7 and D again, which goes like this. Well, I may be right and I may be wrong, but you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. So it's just D all the way through except for that when I'm gone at the end, like that. Then we have a verse. Well, the engineer said before he died there were 2 more drinks that he'd like to try. Conductor said, what could they be? A hot cup of coffee and a cold glass of tea. And then we're back to the chorus twice. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. And repeat. Well, the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station at the Rock Island Line. Okay, let's have a quick look at it on the baritone. Again, it's exactly the same chords, we're just going to play them in different positions. So on the baritone, we want our D chord here. And we can just take our ring finger and move it across to the 3rd fret of the top E string and take off those 2 fingers. And for the final chord, it's going to be an A7. We can take off the ring finger and hop those 2 fingers across one string and just play this shape. So, if you followed the first bit, you should have the structure of the song. Let's play it on the baritone, but let's also talk a little bit about the rhythm of this song. It's very fast. If you try and do too much fancy strumming, you're going to get into trouble as that speed picks up. And, you know, if you listen to Lonnie Donegan's version, it's really fast. We're going to try and keep to a very simple, what I would call a dum ching strum, which is you hit your lower 1 or 2 strings on 1, then you hit all of the strings on beat 2, and on beat 3, a smaller strum that catches 1 or 2 strings, and on beat 4, a bigger one. So you get dum ching, dum ching, dum ching, dum ching. That one, as well as having a nice hard driving feel, won't get you into trouble on that half a bar, where if you're playing a more complicated strumming pattern, you'd have to chop it off, because the first half of the bar is exactly the same as the second half of the bar. And you can get it up to quite a fast speed. The other thing I'm doing is, on both of these ukes, this applies to both sizes of ukulele, I'm muting the strings by taking the pressure off the chord in between. Now you get the odd open string ringing out, but it'll give you this nice sort of pulse that will drive the song along. So instead of, it'll be just squeezing gently enough to press the strings down on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as soon as I've done that little squeeze, and it's not really a hard squeeze, it's a tiny little pulse, I immediately let go, and that chord will cut off. So, we're at the same point again. We've just started to pick up speed, playing our D chord, telling the story. We're speeding away from the toll booth, speeding up. But again, this train is not going to go too fast this time. It's got a lot of pig iron on board. It can't go too fast. So here we go. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station at the Rock Island Line. That's the chorus. Here's the verse. Cloudy in the west and it looks like rain. Round the curve come a passenger train. Northbound train on a southbound track. He's alright leaving but he won't be back. Chorus again. The Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is the road I ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Here's our little interlude. It's just a D with that brief half a bar of A7 at the end. Well, I may be right and I may be wrong, but you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. back into a verse. The engineer said before he died there were 2 more drinks he'd like to try. The conductor said, what could they be? A hot cup of coffee and a cold glass of tea. 2 choruses to finish. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is the road to ride. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Last time, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, if you ride it, you gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Take your time with it. Start to get that nice, solid feel. It's a train song, so it needs to drive along like a train would, and you can build up the speed as you get more comfortable with the chords. It's a great song to be able to play in a set, and if you want to, you can keep that train getting faster and faster, and you can gradually speed up the song all the way through until by that final chorus it's pretty frantic. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.